Welcome everybody to the Ultimate Deck Show Fiberon Edition.
I feel like you come in extra hot and I like balance it by being extra flat.
Don't try to balance things.
Whoa!
There you go. There you go. You don't need to balance it out. Just like you could be average and I'll be over the top, so you balance out like just a bit above average.
My mom said I am not average.
But when you step in with all this monotone junk, it's not good for anybody.
This is a really good color.
The Fiberon is the lineup of the day today. So we're talking about Fiberon Decking's 2020 lineup.
This is exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff. I'll tell you why. Would you like to know why, Wade? Why
you know the hell of it is.
You know the hell of it is. Fiberon is one of the big brands, and yet not super familiar for people in some pockets of the North American markets.
Yep.
So sometimes people are like, Fiberon, I've heard lots about it, can't really get it here. How is it, right? And so they don't have access to it as much as they do at Trex or TimberTech or something, but it is one of the big guys. So it'll be good to go through this and talk about it and inform people a little bit about Fiberon because it is a great option. They make great products. So very innovative company. They were also, was it last year or 2 years ago?
Last year, I
They
think.
were sold to Fortune Brands, which has big pockets. And so we're starting to see some things from Fiberon now, marketing-wise and product-wise, that are pretty exciting. They've got some good financial backing, and so great news for Fiberon and the whole decking industry.
That's right.
Okay, let's start off with the first board. The Fiberon is broken up into, so most, like a lot of brands are good, better, best.
Not Fiberon.
And Fiberon is good, gooder, goodest, better, bestest, and best. Istest.
They got some lines.
There's a couple boards in the lineup here. So we're gonna start with
Board one.
Good Life. Fiberon Good Life is their entry price point.
Is it still called Good Life?
It is still called Good Life, but they've added some more words to it because before it was too easy to say.
Okay.
Because we've already done this, we've already gotten into people being like, get on with it. This is a long format show. Understand that this is going to be a 30-minute show. Okay? So if you're hoping to get all this information in 2 minutes, turn this one off and go check out our Deck Shop Shorts videos because they're 2 minutes long. We haven't done the Fiberon one yet, but it'll be up there soon. So if you don't have time,
it'll be short.
If your poops are 2 minutes long and not 30 minutes long, then check out the other videos.
Deck Shop Shorts.
Deck Shop Shorts. And that'll be more to your liking. So don't complain that this is too long. It's meant to be long. Fiberon Good Life, they've split this into the Weekender and the Escapes collections. Both of them in the Good Life.
Weekender?
Good Life Weekender.
Plain color.
Plain colors.
Good Life Escape.
Good Life Escape.
Variegated.
Variegated.
Here we go.
Multi-chromatic, they used to call it.
Right.
Here is the first board from Fiberon as far as our Good Life Weekender package goes. So there's two colors in this one. This one's called Cottage. And we're a big fan of this line because it looks really good. It's very durable. It's got a good warranty. It's got pretty good traction. And it's a low price point. So
Shane,
what's not to love?
If you could put any deck board on your own house, what board would you install?
I would probably go with a Trex. I kid, because I actually have this board. This board. This one on my own house.
It was a leading question.
You know, I would have gone with a different board because they launched a prettier one like 6 months after I did my deck. But I still would have stuck with the Good Life line because of the cost to performance ratio. I think
Bang for your buck.
I believe this is one of the best bangs for your buck in the whole place. Whole store. Whole industry. Whole world. Even before COVID-19, this is a good bang for your buck.
Ooh,
even more so now.
That was a pretty good bang for your buck, though. That didn't cost much money, and look how far it's gone.
Cottage, banger of a color. It's got great embossing. 25-year warranty on that guy. And
next.
Yeah. Fading, staining, not a problem. Structural, not a problem. 25 years covered across the line. This is the other Good Life color. This one is called Cabin. And this is a brown board, but a light orangey brown board. Same embossing, again, no streaking because it is in the Good Life Weekender line. So now one thing to know about the Good Life collection is you do have scalloping on the back. That's one of the ways that they keep this cost down is they do scallop some of the material out of the board. Not much. There's still a lot of meat in these boards. It still allows you to use all the hidden fasteners you want, including the Cortex plug system will still work with this. So the screws and the plugs that hide the screws still work with this board, which is not very common for a scallop board.
Entry level. It's not very common for an entry level board.
Right. So you've got some high-end fastener features in an entry-level price point board.
Because in the competition doesn't have it. Either competition doesn't have it.
Correct, yeah.
So?
Now, as far as price points go, again, markets will vary on this, but consider this to be in the States, $1.50 to $2 board. In Canada, add $1 to that, right? About that or so?
Ballpark.
Next up, we have what they're calling now the Fiberon Good Life Escapes Collection. Now, the Escapes Collection, the only difference between this and the Good Life is that multi-chromatic streaking that we talked about before. You don't see a bunch of it in this.
Yeah, you do. On the camera, you do.
Oh, there we go. If we tilt that a little bit, you can see a bit more.
There you go.
So you'll get some nice colored streaking in there. When I said before that I would have done a different board, I probably would have picked one from this collection because it adds a lot of character to have that streaking color in there and not just a plain board. But it does come at a cost. You will pay, probably in the US, about 50 cents more linear foot. In Canada, about 70 cents a linear foot. And
Tuscan Villa.
Did I not say that?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's funny because I'm ready for a holiday, so I thought that would have rolled right off my tongue easily.
Yep, Tuscan Villa.
Tuscan Villa is the name of that one.
I'm going to keep it close because it works pretty good with this one.
Next up, we have Bungalow. And so Bungalow, same collection. Again, you'll see some streaking in there. It's a darker color. So if you're looking for a dark brown, that's a good one. Again, scallop just the same as the rest of the lineup is. As you can see there, very good. And as we said, looks really good with Tuscan Villa. If you're looking for a two-tone brown, that one's a beauty right there. Right there? Right here. Oh, look, if we do there's something about turning things on angles that just gets me going.
Really floats my boat.
Really floats my boat. That's Bungalow, ladies and gentlemen. The Escapes collection has 3 colors. What's 2 plus 3, Wade?
5.
Thank you. And this is the final color in this Good Life Escapes collection. Now, this one actually doesn't show a bunch of streaking, which is unfortunate, but it does normally have a lot of dark streaking running through it. This one's called Beach House. So this is very similar to the cottage one we showed before, but it has that extra level of character to it with that extra streaking that isn't coming through on this board a bunch, but trust me, it's there. I've actually seen the boards in real life. I've verified that the streaking does exist.
It's better. That's good.
So that's the Good Life collection. Split up into the Weekender solid colors and the Escapes variegated colors. Like we said, one of the best bangs for your buck out there. Strong warranty, strong brand, been around a long time, innovative company, durable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Great product. Now the next line here, before we get on to this one, you will have heard of a line potentially called Protect Advantage. And Protect Advantage was Fiberon's mid-range price point, and that was available in most markets that had Fiberon to begin with. It's gone now. They've discontinued Protect Advantage. So there's some popular colors in there, like Gray Birch was a very popular color, was one of them. They're being discontinued.
Chestnut was really good.
And what used to be an equivalent in quality and price point line called Sanctuary that was only really available in Canada and I think some Western European countries is now being pushed out to a wider, broader market. And so you're going to see this in the US of A a little bit more now, this Sanctuary line. And I have always liked Sanctuary quite a bit more than the Protect Advantage line. I thought that the colors were fantastic. I thought the embossing was nicer on the Sanctuary line than the Protect Advantage. Yeah. Plus the Protect Advantage line, that's a dumb name.
That wasn't it for me.
Maybe I overstated
it
that.
Scratched a little easier than the Sanctuary line.
At least it shows it for sure a little bit easier, yeah. And
it was more, and it seems like it was more slippery.
Can we just take a step back and mention that the Good Life Escapes collection actually carries a 30-year warranty? It's 25-year on Weekender, 30-year on Escapes. So
okay.
You get the little bit of extra streaking, and you get a little bit of extra warranty to come along with that.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Do you think that
I think it's just a value add. I think it's just like, the board costs a little bit more. Let's just... Why does it cost more? It's got some more coloring. They just wanted to add a little bit more into it. It's like...
I thought maybe the dark pellets lasted 5 years longer.
No, I don't think it lasts 5 years.
Okay.
But you know what? I think it's just kind of like you pay for your Gmail account and it's like, you get 5 gigs of storage here, but then the next one you get 10 gigs of storage, and it's like, does what I'm paying for actually cost more to produce? No, not really. But we need to add some more value to get you to go into the next higher board. I think that's what it is. That was a good analogy.
For you.
Moving on. Sanctuary line. Okay, so this goes up to a, oh lordy, I think it's a 40-year warranty. I think it's 40 years. We got a fact check in the back. Fact check. I think it's 40 years. Bryce might have to do some editing here, but I think that's what's happening here. No, you know what? I am confident it's 40 years.
Okay.
Cancel, fact check, cancel. Thank you. It's 40-year warranty on this guy, so you're getting a longer warranty again. Fade, stain, structural. You're getting into a new embossing now, so it's not quite as deep. It's a little bit shallower of an embossing. You're getting some coloring in this as well. This board does not show it much whatsoever, but this is a dark gray board, and typically it has a bit of tan streaking to it, so it's a very unique color. It's not a cold gray at all. It's a Earl Grey. Did I mention that?
No.
Mention that? No? Earl Grey.
You have now, though.
Earl Grey, it's called. Sanctuary Earl Grey. And so normally you will get a bit of tan color streaking into it, and the tan color that streaks in it is actually the color from this board, the latte. And so even though we don't see it there, you can imagine that's what it's supposed to look like. This is a full thickness board, so it is not scalloped anymore. Now I'm going to make one distinction here as well. This is actually capped on 3 sides, but not the back side, and neither is the Good Life collection, but their higher end ones are. That's why I think I should make that distinction right now.
Good call.
So on the back side, you can still see your wood fibers are exposed. That's okay. You know, as long as the top that's going to get the sun and the water is covered, then we're good. But you can see the nice embossing.
Oh, that's good grain
and coloring there to that board. 3-side cap. That is Earl Grey from Sanctuary. A very complementary color. These two sell very well together is this latte board. And so latte is the reverse color schematic of Earl Grey. This is now a tan board, but with some gray streaking in it. So we got to do this now.
This way.
But on an angle, on an angle, things on angles are hotter, pretty cooler. Oh, look at that. Those look so good together.
I think you should.
You know what, Wade? I think this is one of my favorite color combos. And you got it? Is that the angle right there? Yeah. Can we get an angle finder, please, so we can draw this out on the board? So these colors look fantastic together. Very, very good colors together. This is one of my favorite color combos, but I think we have a new color. And we're just gonna get down. Yep. No. Keep going. This one, folks. This is the banger that we've referred to before. This is a new color from Fiberon in the Sanctuary line called, I got a story. I almost mispronounced that line to loin, and I've got a story about that.
Okay.
But let's get through this first. Chai is like a light gray with some dark streaking in it and kind of a dirty gray. It's so good, and I think that with Earl Grey is hot.
That's pretty good.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful color combination right there. So we'll get that in there by itself so you can kind of see what we're talking about. It's almost the same color as the board that we're sitting on here on our table, to be honest. But so ditch that one. But this color, Chai, we think this is going to be a big seller. It's a hot color, nice embossing. And again, at a medium price point, right? It's not too high. It is... It's not their highest end board, but you're getting a full thickness board for about a middle of the road price point. In Canada, that's going to start with a $5 price point. In the US, it's probably going to be $3.50 to $4, let's say.
Yep. Pro plug available.
40-year warranty. Fantastic coloring and streaking. I love it. It's a great color.
Yep. I'm a big fan of this one.
Now we've got another line. This line is now 5 colors deep. Last year it was 3. They've added a color, which was Chai. They have brought back a color that they discontinued a few years ago called Espresso. And so this was always a fairly good color. I was always confused as to why they got rid of this. Because this and actually Chestnut from the Protected Vantage line they were identical coloring. It was just the embossing was different. But this one I thought was a nicer looking one.
Yeah.
And so they dropped this a couple years ago and kept Chestnut, and now they've dropped Chestnut and they're bringing this one back.
Yeah, that's a better move. You don't always get it right the first time around. Now you have.
No. Like tell me about it. I've been married twice. So this board here is, it's a nice dark chocolatey brown board with some lighter brown streaking in it. It's an attractive one. If you're looking for a brown one, this one's fire.
Yeah.
Espresso is the name.
Decking
Sanctuary is the game. This next color is a modification of a color that was out last year. That was brand new last year. So last year they released a board called Jatoba that we'll show you in a minute, and didn't take off, I guess. It was a little bit maybe too vibrant, so they toned it down a little bit. They gave it a new name in Moringa and re-released it with that nice kind of yellowy orangey with some kind of darker streaking in it, blacker streaking in it. I think this is a good looking board.
Great decision. I like that one quite a
Now
bit.
let's show you how it compares with what was Jatoba, because Jatoba was, again, a little bit polarizing and bright for some. So there's the two boards here. Jatoba's on this side, Moringa's on this side. You can see how orangey this was and how much of an aggressive dark streak it has running down the middle. This will still be available exclusively, I believe, at Home Depots in the USA. So you may still see this board kicking around there, but it wasn't a super popular color, so whether you're going to take to it or not, I don't know. But Moringa, I think, is a much nicer looking board.
Great warranty. Still, like, it's all good. Everything about the board is good. Just maybe the streaking was too aggressive, right?
Yep.
It didn't,
Just a little bit of a polarizing color.
Yep.
So that's everything that you got to see on the Sanctuary lineup. That is Fiberon's mid-range 40-year warranty price point board.
Okay.
We should mention too that if you hire a Fiberon Pro contractor, that you also receive a 5-year labor warranty included in this as well.
Depending on your contractor.
Yeah, they have to do some volume with Fiberon. They've got to have installed a few decks with them before they'll
Get some
are able to offer that.
Yeah.
But good idea to work with a good contractor, and if you're finding a Fiber Pro has done enough decks to warranty that labor portion of it, that's a good value to have.
Okay, so this is
In the event you have something go wrong.
good,
God
gooder, better, best. This is best.
Is this the best one?
Well,
Okay.
if based on our good, better, best, good,
Yeah,
better,
we're getting there.
best,
So this is now they've got,
bestest.
this is called the Concordia. So this used to be called Fiberon Horizon,
That made sense.
and now it's called Fiberon Concordia Horizon.
Okay. I agree with you. I've done a fact check.
Okay.
I read the words on the board.
Yeah, okay.
We're-
What did you learn?
You were right.
This board here is called Tudor Brown. Now, it is very similar to that espresso color, but the difference with this lineup, why it costs more, because it does. This probably starts with a 5 in the USA, at least in the 4 somewhere, mid-high
High
4s.
fours, yeah.
And in Canada, we're into the 5s to 6s. This is capped on all sides. So as I mentioned before on the previous line, it doesn't have the cap on the back. This one does. So we're protected all the way around the board. And why is that good? Well, if you're in the middle of installing the board and it's got some damage or a scratch on one side, you could flip the board over and install the other side if you wanted to. Maybe you're in a situation where you've got, you're mitering some corners and all of a sudden the one board's too short, but if you can flip it and the miter's the right way, now maybe it's long enough.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of little minor things. It's also protected on the back, so it's a little bit more protected for doing installs with low ventilation, so
Yep.
ground level decks or maybe on a dock or something where you're gonna get some moisture. The wood on the core of the board is also protected on the bottom. So it's not a bad thing, it's just whether you need to pay for that extra feature on your application is debatable.
Do you have a longer warranty?
You do have a longer warranty. You get up to 50 years on the Fiberon Concordia lines.
50
So
years.
50 years, I believe that might be the longest wood plastic composite warranty in the industry. So that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, you guys. This one is a very popular color called Ipe, so you got some very nice coloring in this. This is what Fiberon's known for in their higher end lines, is that streaking. They've got nice, gentle, sweeping colors, but lots of it. It's a very dramatic look when you see this stuff installed on a full deck. So no two boards look alike. The coloring is very random in it. It's beautiful. The embossing is repeating, but
It's
the coloring
like the
is random.
snowflake of the industry, this one.
It is the snowflake of the industry, yeah. Or the thumbprint, but you wouldn't know anything about that. So the
I just have to do it different than you.
yeah, I don't think yours looks. I don't think your thumbprint is very good.
Everybody else has to do this.
Yeah.
I have to do
So hot color. This one's really good. Again, capped all sides. Fiberon Ipe. Used to be one of their best-selling boards. They've seen some fall off in the last couple of years as they released their pretty
Other bangers.
good life lines and stuff, and I would think that trend would continue because that Moringa is going to give you a similar look for much lower cost. This one here is called Castle Gray. Now Castle Gray is a very neutral gray color with some streaking in it. This one's very nice. What's more to say about it? It's a gray with a nice coloring.
So grays are really popular in our area. This will do well.
They are, yeah.
Canada, and then, yeah, Northeast.
Any cold markets.
Any cold markets.
This one here is called Rosewood. So this is a brown with just a hint of rosewood.
Red.
A little bit of red in it. So not much red, like it's very subtle. It's more neutral brown than the name would maybe imply, but it's a quite nice looking little board. So all that great coloring again. So that's the end of the Concordia Horizon line.
Yeah.
Now the reason they distinguished these was because, well, this doesn't explain it.
Yep.
But there's another line that's of similar quality, dual embossed, front and back, capped and everything, that's called the Symmetry line. And last year it was just known as Fiberon Horizon and Fiberon Symmetry, but now they've called it Fiberon Concordia Symmetry. And the whole Concordia line gets that 50-year warranty. So I guess there's maybe some reason why they did that.
Yep.
But what they've done here is they've released this embossing that is much more realistic to hardwoods. That's their goal here, because the other lines, both the old Protected Vantage line and the Horizon line, have a very smooth embossing.
Yes.
And so it looks nice being smooth like that, but it doesn't look overly realistic to wood. And it also is quite slippery because of that really smooth embossing when it gets wet.
But it's great to clean.
Super easy to clean. There's
Just
not any
rinses right off.
Yeah, yeah. So what they did with this was like, let's release something that looks a little bit more like real wood, like hardwood, and that was the goal of this line, and I think they did a fairly good job of it.
I think they've done a great job of this.
Nice linear graining to it. None of the knots are swirling, you see.
Yep.
Just more linear, but similar coloring. It's still got the nice...
Is that battery dying again?
Nice coloring here. And yeah, this one's called Warm Sienna, and it's a nice looking board. It's one of those yellowy browns, so it's not super popular, at least not in our market, but nice looking board. Next up, we've got...
sold this one a couple times. It's been great.
Yeah, we've hit it here and there.
Yeah.
Another one we like is called Cinnabar. So this is the same kind of thing. Now, if you're looking for something that looks as close to real hardwood as possible, real oiled hardwood, this is a contender for like one of the most realistic looking.
It really is.
The only tell on it is that it's a little bit shiny, a little bit of a glossy finish to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it looks, the coloring and the texture is bang on.
Yes.
At our old location, we just recently moved.
Today.
Hours ago. At our old location, our sales desk, we mixed and matched.
Yep, that's better.
I've got a thing with like, I talk so fast and I'm trying to talk slower, and instead my brain's like, well, if you're gonna talk slower, you have to skip
We'll
parts
just leave
of words
things out then.
to get through things faster. We mixed and matched. Red Bilao Batu hardwood, which is similar to an Ipe look.
Correct.
That was oiled, and we put some of this stuff in there as well. So this was the vertical portion of the desk, and then we had some inserts, little like wedges that we kind of cut between our concrete countertops that were made out of real actual hardwood oiled, and people couldn't tell the difference unless we told them and they looked really, really closely. They thought it was all the same material.
Correct.
That's how close they've gotten with this one. So fantastic looking board, 50-year warranty, Cinnabar. Next!
This one.
This one is called Burnt Umber. Why? Because it's really dark. Next! Just kidding. So this is a very dark brown, has a little bit of streaking in it, but it's a little bit tougher to see the streaking because the base color is so dark in it.
Yeah.
Now, just to note, we did some heat tests a couple years ago. And when it was really hot outside, we took a whole bunch of colors from all the brands, light and dark, and we tested them all. This is one of the hottest boards out there. I'm sorry, Fiberon, I just like burnt, sorry for the pun, but I burnt some sales in that one. But just so people know, this does get warm because of the deep dark color.
Correct.
The other one that got really warm with them was a clubhouse board called Ironwood, which is a deep dark gray. The moral of the story is really dark colors get hotter than lighter colors. So just be aware of that. You know, it's fine up until 30 degrees Celsius, or what's that in Fahrenheit? Probably about 90 Fahrenheit-ish. Above and beyond that, you're going to want to wear shoes. And that goes for most dark colors,
Yeah,
but this one especially it tested a bit hotter, just so you know.
Last one.
Last one from the Symmetry line. This one's a very nice color. I like this one a lot.
Added it a couple years ago.
Yeah, this one's called Graphite, and so it's a dark gray with, again, that streaking, but again, hard to see it because it's the whole board's a bit dark, but this is a very, very nice color.
It's fantastic. So they were looking for, dark grays to pair with light grays, because that's like everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing the two-tone look, and so this was the solution.
Yeah, so these are their premium boards, so expect these to compete price-wise with like a Trex Transcend or something like that, so whatever that is in your market, expect that Fiberon would be similar. Now, Fiberon actually makes both the wood plastic composite, which is what we just talked about. All of the options we just went through were wood plastic composites with a cap on them, so you might hear them referred to as capstock or a capped composite. And so what that means is that it's got a traditional wood plastic core, but it's capped the layer of protective plastic that doesn't have the wood in it, so no fading, no staining, no mold, no mildew, no problems.
No problems. No maintenance.
Yeah, always somebody that challenges you on that when you say that. But
come at me,
close
bro.
enough. Come at me, bro. Listen up here, folks. Now we all got a PCV line. We have a PVC line.
Yeah.
Now, PVC is a different type of plastic because your wood plastic composites use a plastic called HDPE, which stands for
high density polyethylene.
And this is a PVC plastic, which stands for polyvinyl chloride. There you go. Now you know. So there's no wood filler in these ones. This is a different type of plastic. It tends to have better traction. It definitely has better traction than the rest of the lineup. If you're looking for something that gives you a lot of traction around a hot tub, or just elderly parents, or you just don't like slipping and sliding, then this line is great for it because it has very good traction to it. PVCs tend to be, they are always lighter to work with.
Yes.
Much lighter to lift and play with the boards. They tend to be a little bit spongier, so if you're somebody who's really sensitive to boards flexing under your feet on a hot day, you might want to install your framing a little bit tighter on these.
I think we usually recommend doing PVC at 12-inch on center.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the warranty that says you need to, but just for flat-out satisfaction, 12-inch on center is a better way to go. And this is it's already a higher price point, so the people are not going to be upset about 2 more joists. Or
it doesn't cost a lot to add a couple extra joists in to go to 12 inches on
a little more fastener, like to put the boards down, but it's
marginal
negligible.
Cost. Yeah. So I like how some brands put it. Requires 16 inches on center max, but for optimum feel, do it at 12s. I think that's a good word for optimum feel because these can flex a little bit, and so can composites for some in some
when
cases.
They get warm.
But PVC is a little bit more so. So great traction, impact resistance a little bit less than composites traditionally, but scratch resistance a little bit more. So it's durable in its own way, lighter to work with, easier to screw with. It's considered a premium product. It doesn't have the wood in it, so there's no concerns with moisture or swelling or mold or any of that stuff. There's no plastic in it. There's no wood in it, sorry. It's completely plastic inside that core. And so as opposed to the wood plastic composites that are recycled plastic and wood fiber mixed together in a Play-Doh machine and pushed out like spaghetti, these are, it's just melted plastic that is foamed with a foaming agent that causes them to foam into their mold. And so they're made a little bit differently, but the moral of the story is they end up being great looking boards with good traction, good scratch resistance, just a different type of maintenance-free decking.
Right.
This one's called Mineral. It's one of the 4 boards in the Paramount line. Paramount is the PVC line. It's the only one that has a single color to it. So this is just a solid light gray.
Yeah, 2 years ago they had a different color, right? They had
There used to be one called Mineral. There used to be one called, not Mineral, oh boy, it's escaped me now. Fossil. There used to be one called Fossil that was a tan color like this. So unlikely you're going to see it around anymore because it's been gone for a full year, but it was out there at one point. Nice rough embossing on it, so rough equals traction usually. So that's a good thing. This one's popular. It's called Brownstone, and so you'll notice like beautiful coloring in that. Very, very nice coloring. Lots of it.
It's probably their best like color variation, right? This one and Ipe in the Horizon line, I think are probably their 2 most vibrant, loudest.
If you're looking for something that provides a lot of contrast and color, this is the one.
Like a 1-2 punch.
There's some people, this is a polarizing thing though, because some people come in and they're like, it's too busy. They don't like this much color, right? They want something a little bit more subtle. But if you want a lot of action going on, this is a good option. It's that nice kind of, it's got some dark browns, but also some light brown streaking, so lots of contrast there. This one is a burner. This one here, I like this one a lot. This one's called Sandstone. So again, lots of coloring in it. It's got that tanny gray mixed with a bit more of a neutral dark gray, and so you've got some fantastic coloring inside of there. Love it, love it, love it. Very popular board. All the same benefits. Paramount line. And finally, wait, is this the last board that we're going to address here?
This is the last one.
Oh, it's over already.
You could go watch Deck Shop Shorts and it would be
You can
over.
watch Deck Shop Shorts and it would only take 2 minutes of your time. You'll notice right away, as soon as I set this down, this is much more of a bluey gray. So you'll see on the camera there
You want me to bring this one back?
sure, we can kind of show the, hold on. Oh yeah.
On the angle.
On the angle. And so over here you've got that beautiful sandstone tanny kind of gray, very tanny gray, and this one's more of that cold bluish gray from Flagstone it's called. And so
Like
it's
my
a
heart.
It's a holy smokes. It's a lot. I don't know where I was going with that next word. It's a lot good.
It's a lot good.
It's a really nice color as long as you have a house colors that are also cold, right? This isn't, you're not going to want to put this beside a brown house or even a tan house because it's really going to draw the blue out of it.
Yeah.
But if you've got a bluish stucco or a dark slate or neutral gray, this will look great.
Yeah.
Now,
And with white.
Fiberon, I believe this is okay to say, they're also releasing another line within their PVC line. And I believe it's 6 colors.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Don't tell me I didn't tell you this. Did that happen? Did I not tell you this?
I didn't know about this. That's okay. I don't like. I'm just as happy to.
We're
find
all learning today. Fiberon
That's
is
really
releasing- That awkward moment when.
It's okay.
So Fiberon is releasing another PVC line. I don't know what it's called. I think it was named, but I don't recall the name. And the board colors are named, but I don't recall them either.
Okay.
But 6 new colors. And
Sick announcement. Well done.
they look a lot more like the Symmetry line. So that hairline,
Oh, okay.
they're very comparable to like an AZEC Vintage. That's what they're kind of going for. And their Symmetry line. So a PVC board that has that fine hair-like, more realistic to hardwood look.
Right.
I think they'll be good. I think if I recall correctly, there's some good colors in there and a more squared off profile. So bring one of those back. Let's show them
There's a
something.
few things we need to talk about with the PCV lines that you didn't talk about before.
Okay, sure. Let's have it. First of all, bring a Symmetry one as well. First of all, let's have a look at the edge of this board here.
These are so heavy.
So if we have a look here, Bryce, is this going to autofocus on that thing? There it goes.
There it is.
So you'll notice that edge on there is quite a radius. Like that's probably a 3/16 inch radius, if not a 1/4 inch radius on that. Whereas the composite boards here from the Symmetry line are much more squared off. And so that, like, for the most part, who cares? However, there's a couple instances where you might care. One is that big rounded corner might make the gaps between your boards look bigger, even though they're technically the same.
Yep.
But the other problem is, maybe grab another one of the PVC ones. The other problem is when you're doing a picture frame border and you are lining these boards up. And so this is your border, this is your field. Let's turn that around so you don't have the logo in the way. This is your field board. What can happen sometimes is you catch a bit of this little ridge here is a little bit more noticeable because of the rounded edge of the sides of the boards. If you have a more squared off edge, it just comes together a little bit cleaner. I'm not getting it on this desk as much, but sometimes you have a little lip there.
Yeah.
And so the new line with the squared off edge will be, I think that's a good thing.
I think it is as well.
Yeah. So that's the exciting news from Fiberon. The Paramount line now also has a 50-year fade and stain warranty and a lifetime structural warranty. Why is that significant? Well, because up until this year, they didn't have a stain and fade warranty on them at all.
With no
0 to
reason.
50.
They had no reason.
They didn't have a reason.
But now they have the warranty, and so that was it. That was the only reason we were asking.
We've been complaining about this for how long? And
1 year.
finally somebody was listening.
1 year.
Anyways, it always drove us nuts that it didn't have a fade and stain warranty on it.
not?
Because when you asked Fiberon, they're like, we don't really know why. Or at least our reps didn't really
was a
know why they
marketing
didn't
thing.
have it. That's what we were told. It was like, it's not that it fades and stains. It's like, okay, well, if you don't guarantee that it won't, then it's tough to believe it when you say that it won't.
Yep.
So thankfully, they finally adjusted that this year and put on a big warranty on it now. Now it's got a great warranty on it.
Yeah.
So,
And then I think the other thing we should mention with the difference between PVC and composite is the expansion and contraction.
sure, okay.
So go ahead. I've loaded it.
You
for
were just setting him up for
Yeah.
me to knock him down.
Oh, that's your thing.
All plastic decking expands and contracts with, all plastic anything expands and contracts with changes in temperature. Yep. And so that's a common known issue with composite decking, is that with most composite decking, is that, you know, you can cut this beautiful miter today, and when the winter rolls around, or even sometimes when it cools off at night, it'll shrink a little bit and open that miter up, and you'll come out there and be like, boy, I swear, honey, I nailed that yesterday. Trust me, I posted about it on my Pinterest account.
Yep.
And she'll be like, nah, it looks kind of...
Or TikTok.
Or TikTok, wherever you post your things. Anyways, you can be happy walking away with a tight joint, and tomorrow it's maybe not as tight. And then in the winter, it's even bigger gap. So
not good.
It's a battle you just can't win. But with PVC, it moves a little bit more even.
It does.
So on a 20-foot unfastened composite deck board, in an 80-degree Fahrenheit temperature swing. So if we go from like -40 in the winter, people are like, that doesn't get that cold anywhere. Yeah, it does here.
Celsius.
I shouldn't say -40 to +40 Fahrenheit, but let's say -40 Celsius. So anyway, between summer and winter temperatures, an 80-degree Fahrenheit swing, that board may contract up to 1/4 of an inch.
Yep.
Now, if you fasten it down, composites, it will limit that a little bit, but it's never going to eliminate it completely. It's still going to open up no matter what.
3/16.
Yeah,
because composite moves. It's like
it does.
It doesn't.
You might cut that in half. You might be able to get to an eighth, but still, if you consider an eighth meeting an eighth, and they both go back an eighth, that's a 1/4 inch gap between there. You might end up with.
Yep.
So it's still a big. That's if you have 2 long runs. The shorter the board, the less it expands and contracts.
Correct.
PVC boards on that same amount, 20-foot board unfastened, 80-degree temperature swing, are going to expand and contract up to 1/2 an inch.
1/2 an inch. Not that much unless you put it on the end of your nose.
Or your thumb. That would be a game changer.
Just about twice as big a thumb.
So
double my thumb.
You just need to be aware of that. Now, with PVC, it seems the more you fasten it down, the more it restricts that, even more so. You can get that number down quite a bit if you really fasten that thing down.
Yep.
Some manufacturers say even using an adhesive on the back and screwing it down will help.
Yep.
But the moral of the story is, at your joints especially, load up the fasteners. If you're using these hidden fasteners with plugs and stuff, you don't end up seeing them anyway, so throw a few more extra in there.
I got you.
Throw a few extra screws in there, and it's going to help to keep that joint a little bit tighter. The other option is don't miter it in the first place.
Yeah.
Use a butt joint, paint the end, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then when it moves, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't expand and contract widthwise. It's very stable widthwise.
Correct.
So if it's going to move at all, if you screw the crap out of that and it shrinks back an eighth from the side of the board, that's okay. An eighth inch gap's not that bad.
You wouldn't have noticed it because you would have left a 3/16 gap, because so your boards are spaced apart 3/16 of an inch.
Yeah.
So normally you would do that on your boards.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to put them together on the end of a miter, you could just do that.
Yeah.
And then if the board shrunk a little bit, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. So different install techniques. If you are the kind of person that thinks that joint opening up is going to bother you, then just don't do it in the first place, because it's a losing battle. You're not going to get it to work forever.
That's it. I wanted to make sure we mentioned
And it's tough for people to make peace with that, because they're like, well, I don't like the look of a butt joint. And it's like, well, what don't you like the look of more? That butt joint being a butt joint, or a miter that's opened up and no longer looks tight? And it's like, that's going to bother you more.
The miter, the opened up miter bugs me more.
Yeah. So Fiberon, they also sell railing. They've got some lighting options. They haven't gone as deep down the product line extension as, say, a Trex has, but they still got some outdoor products in addition to their standard decking. And so check those out at their website, fiberondecking.com.
Yeah, and we may find out about it if the PVC lineup announcement is actually supposed to be announced.
I've heard that those products are supposed to launch around the June timeframe,
and if they weren't supposed to be announced, it's unlikely we'll ever get knowledge or information from Fiberon ever again.
They told us that we were okay to talk about it when they told me about it. So they've also come up with a really cool augmented reality virtual app. So if you go on your phone, and so I can't remember what it's called, Fiberon something. Search for Fiberon on your Android or iOS device. They've got an app that will allow you to, it's augmented reality. So you just position your deck or where your deck's going to be in your phone frame, and then you choose your color of board, and it'll turn your deck into those colors of board, so you can see what
pretty
that would
cool.
look like before you go and do it.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool stuff right there, right, Bryce?
Yeah.
That's like
Pretty neat
science.
stuff.
Is that science?
It's a little bit of science and things, yeah.
Love it.
So download that app. If you want to hear more from us, let us know in the comments. If you have any questions, first of all, in the comments down below, we reply to everything. So if you have questions about Fiberon or any other brand, ask down below. If this was too long for you in the future, you just want a quick refresher, check out the Deck Shop Shorts. And those videos are a little bit more succinct. Is that a word?
Yep.
Is that the right word?
It's succinct means shortened.
Okay. Good word, hey?
That's a university word. You
And
can use it.
so you can check those videos out. Also check out our Instagram accounts and our TikTok and everything else. We're everywhere, okay? We've got a podcast too, the Ultimate Deck Podcast. We want to do more deck learning. Like, you got to really like decks to want to take in all that we're giving out.
Yeah.
Anyways, subscribe to the channel because we're putting out lots of stuff all the time. And thanks for watching. Comment below. Peace.